Building a team is the fastest way to achieve success in network marketing. Unfortunately, not everyone knows how to build an effective team. Many beginners make mistakes because they do not know how to go about recruitment, either wasting time doing the wrong things or grappling with the challenges of handling their business alone without a team. In this video, I will share with you 5 strategies I have mastered over the years and also taught others, which have helped them to build great teams and multiply their results. By the end of this video, you will see that building a team is the magic your network marketing business needs to take you to another level where you can do less and see more results. We have a lot to cover, so let's get into it. Strategy number 1 is defining your team culture. In the beginning, when you make the decision, to build a big team, you need to know where you want to go. And the best way to do that is by defining the culture you want to have in your organization. Because the culture of an organization at the end of the day will determine how they will act in their daily business. And to have a clarity about this culture, how you want to build it, is very important. And after that, if you know where you want to go, it is important to know how can you get there. And therefore, I believe you need to define some values. The values are what is carrying the team culture along the way. During my 10 years experience in network marketing, I have seen different ways people were building culture, with a conscious mind or unconsciously. I have seen cultures developing in organizations where there was no direction for culture. And this is very interesting. If you have a huge organization, you can observe those different ways how culture is being built on purpose, or culture is just developing on its own because nobody is leading an organization. I will share with you shortly, how values like honesty or commitment can transform your business. But first, let's cover 2 kinds of organizations of culture I have seen. One you should avoid, and another one you should embrace. I have observed, if I would need to categorize cultures I have seen, there's 2 big differences what I've observed over the last 10 years. One culture is where it's all about me, and one culture is where it's all about us or something bigger than myself. This thinking or creating these cultures have an impact on the organization, how they grow, the intensity how they grow, the speed how they grow, and most importantly about how they internally develop. So to compare what I have observed over the last 10 years is that there is one culture where it's about having the biggest piece of a cake, and another culture is where it is about making the cake bigger. And this is a pretty interesting attempt, and also very interesting to observe how these 2 different cultures are developing, and also, I think that's the most important thing, performing over a long period of time. So what it is about the first culture, when it's about having the biggest piece of a cake, it means that you want to be, the biggest team, the biggest organization, the biggest leader, everything is just about you. You do everything, just to get yourself with your team to the top. That means you're not willing to share any positive experiences you made. You try to hide information for yourself, and you're not open to give and receive. And on the other side, when it's about making the cake bigger, I think what it takes for that is also a level of personal development. A level where you understand there is enough resource out there, and it's about your creativity, just to materialize results. And when it's about making the cake bigger, it means working with each other, cross-line with the upline, with other organizations, with other countries, so that everybody can benefit and make it together, the boat go faster. I want to share a little story with you where this was an eye-opener for me. It was maybe now about 10 years ago. I've done a seminar at Rich Dad Poor Dad's organization. It was about financial intelligence. And as you know, Robert Kiyosaki, he developed this game, the cash flow game. And there the goal is, to get yourself out of the rat race so that you have enough residual income that you can enjoy the freedom of choice. It's a very powerful game, by the way. And in this seminar, there was a task to play this game. And there was always 4 guys on one table, and we had 4 or 5 tables. And in the first time playing this game, the goal was to get the first person out of the treadmill. And the thing was that we have been playing for about 2.5 hours. Then the first person out of these 4 to 5 tables was saying, "Hey, I'm the winner, I'm out of the treadmill." 2.5 hours. So then we did a little analyze about the game, what we have learned. We went for lunch, and after the lunch break, we were playing again the game. But this time, the task was to get all 4 people out of the rat race. But there was a little twist in the rules. You were allowed to play together. to support each other, to help each other. And the interesting thing was that in the second round of playing, it took 25 minutes for the first table to get all 4 out of the red race. And this was pretty an eye-opener for me, where I saw that working together is uplifting everybody. And this is something what I implemented also for my philosophy into network marketing. If I want to get forward, I need to make other people successful and share and help and uplift everybody. Not only my organization, my leaders, my company, it's about the whole industry. This is also one reason why I'm doing this. Why I'm sharing all my knowledge, all my experience, what I have collected over the last 10 years to build a business that is constantly growing month by month with all of you for free here on YouTube. Because for me, it's about making the cake bigger for all of us. So I have also observed one more thing, because in cultures, where it is about having the biggest piece of the cake and people are not sharing their information, they're not working together, everybody's doing his own little thing. This creates a toxic environment, because in network marketing, everything duplicates. And if you are creating a culture where you don't want to share, you don't even want to invite people to your little home event or to your training, that can be pretty challenging. So my advice is make sure you're working on making the cake bigger and create a healthy, loving, sharing culture in your organization. I can also give you another example. In the last year, I think that was the year when I was doing the most work to share knowledge, to inspire people, from different organizations, crossline, upline, sideline, wherever, different nations, different cultures. And at the same time, it was also the year where my own organization was growing the most. And this was pretty interesting for me, and this was a moment also when I realized that there is an interdependence between giving and receiving. The more you give, the more you can also receive. And it's also the question to you. Just think about where you would like to work. Do you want to work in an environment where people share, help, uplift each other and growing all together? Or do you want to work in an environment where it's a me culture? I think it's pretty obvious, right? So comment in the section below. Would be pretty interesting for me to see the comments and make an analysis, and maybe even creating another tool or another training out of it. For me, it was in the very beginning when I started network marketing. What I did was, in the very first presentation, I remember exactly that I had this PowerPoint presentation, and on the PowerPoint presentation there was a lot of values, on this presentation, and I throw them on the wall, and I was talking to the few people that were starting with me together. These values, it was about, being transparent, quality products, good service, nice people, uplifting each other, work together. I said, these are the values, what I believe are important to build a successful business. And I said, in 15 years from now, when a customer hears the name of our company or from one of our top leaders, I want those values to pop up in their mind. So this is our standard. This is how we are working. And for sure, the bigger your organization grows, there is coming their own cultures. But the overall, I have to say, I'm proud about what we have created over the last 10 years and about the culture we have been able to establish in the organization. And I think it's all, to point back to that very first presentation. I used that presentation for sure for over a year, in everywhere where I went, when I did trainings with the team. But it's back to that organization, how we were able to cultivate this culture in our team. But it's not enough, to create an organization that shares information and collaborate. You must also build an organization with honesty, which leads us to the second strategy. Strategy number 2 is developing a culture of honesty and commitment. And here actually there is a challenge many distributors face when they start in network marketing, because in the beginning phase, when they are in the phase of hope, when they hope they found something that can help them to make a change in their life, to close the gap from where they are right now and where they really want to be. They have the temptation to overselling network marketing, as an easy, simple, so that you don't need to do a lot, it's just part-time, and everything is almost going on its own, and this is the way how you can build a business. But this is not the truth, because the truth is that network marketing is an outstanding opportunity for every person to create an above average lifestyle. But it's an entrepreneurial venture, and in network marketing there is also, there's ups, there's downs, there's good days, there's bad days. Sometimes you're in the flow and sometimes you're not in the flow. And for me, I don't need to make network marketing better than it is, because I believe it's an outstanding opportunity. And the truth is good enough. Because I don't know any other industry where with a couple of €100 investment you can start to build your own business and create residual income and create maybe even financial freedom and independence, which in turn gives you the opportunity to choose on your own with whom, when and where you want to spend your time with. So the truth is good enough. At the same time, I also think it's from the very beginning, already in the recruiting process, make sure that everybody knows that this is a real business. This is not a get rich quick system or something like this. Network marketing is an entrepreneurial venture. So you also need to think from the very beginning long term. Because how many businesses do you know that are a success story from the get-go? Not many. For sure not more than 50% of all the startups, because 50% of all the startups in normal business, they are gone after 1 year. And after 5 years, it's 80%. And after 10 years, it's 96% of every businesses in the world, they are gone. And the last 4% that are still existing, that doesn't mean that they are massively profitable, but they are still there. And in network marketing, you can compare it. It's the same journey. Because the first year is your learning year. The second year is where you maybe pick up a little bit of speed, but it takes 3 to 5 years to really build a solid, sustainable network marketing business. So from the get-go, make the right assumptions and plan with your potential business partner, with your prospects for 3 to 5 years to really figure out if network marketing is working for them or not. I think one of the biggest advantages, by having that clarity from the get-go, so that you're totally honest, you're not overselling your business opportunity, and you're setting the right expectations that this is a multi-year adventure, a multi-year journey to really build a sustainable business. You maybe not get all the people into your business, but I'm sure that you get the right people in. And this is also what showed me in my experience, that if you get the right people, you can build a sustainable business. And if you know how duplication works, it's not about the first 2-3 levels. It's about duplicating this over and over and over again. And by having the right people, you have more people that duplicate your business. And this will help you to really get speed into your organization. But it doesn't end here. Another strategy to create a formidable team is to walk the talk, which leads us to the next point. So strategy number 3 is lead by example. That's a big one. So what does it mean, lead by example? Walking the talk. It means not just be the guy that knows it in here, but be the guy that is doing it, living it every single day when you're working with your team. And even when nobody is watching. Because this is something I also observed in network marketing, that everything is duplicated. Sometimes business partners or distributors, they think, maybe I can get away with a little twist. Maybe not showing 100% integrity with what I'm saying and what I'm doing. But the truth is, everything duplicates. So if you are not showing integrity yourself, you will also have a team that sometimes think, a little twist here and there, a little sneaking behind the rules. That's possible. You will create that culture. So it is important to be 100% sticking to what you're saying, walking the talk. Do what you want others to do. And even if nobody is watching you, that's maybe the most important time to really show leadership. Leading yourself first. And one thing in creating an amazing team culture is also recruiting yourself first for your product or your service. With whatever company you're working, you should be your best customer first, because then you make product experience and you know how to share this product with other people. And if your team can see that you are living the brand, that you are a product of the product, they start to imitate you and will also start to use more and more products, becoming the product. And then what they can do is, the better they know the product because they experience them themselves, the better they can recommend them to their potential customers. And this will again help you to create more turnover, create more sales, more revenue, more growth. So can you see the compound effect in just leading yourself first and being product of the product yourself? You don't even need to give tons of hours of training, just do it yourself and let others see you doing it. When it comes to leadership, and when I'm saying leading yourself first, you also need to know exactly, who you want to be as a leader or who you want to be as a successful network marketer. And from sports, when I was a high professional sports coach, I remember this strategy that you need to create this avatar. If you want to become an Olympic champion, you need to look at an Olympic champion and see what are they doing, how are they eating, how are they training, how are they thinking, everything, put together from the best people in the world, the strategies they use to become Olympic champion, create the avatar, and then become that person. And then the chances of becoming an Olympic champion are multiplying. And I used that same strategy when I started in network marketing. I studied all the successful people in the network marketing industry and put together my personal avatar and who I want to be. Then I was looking what was aligning with my personal values. And this helped me to even shape this avatar in more details. So the more detailed you know who you really want to be, the easier it is for you to develop to that person, to becoming that person. So know it in detail, exactly, clarify, because clarity is power. While I have remained optimistic and led my organization by doing my very best and putting in my all, this next strategy has made a huge difference to my organization and for many others I have coached over the last 10 years. Strategy number 4, clear communication. Communication is key. In every time when people are working together, communication is the key if the work is successful or not. This is something what I have just observed. When I was a professional sports coach, in every team I was coaching, if the communication was working, you had a good mood, a good state, we were working together, we were all going the same direction. But if communication was not working, then you have all these little burning fires going on, and at one point the whole thing will just explode. And this is also very important in network marketing, that you have a very clear communication structure. Because one of the most important things is that, in the long run, you're building an organization with hundreds and thousands of distributors in your team. And therefore you need to make sure that everybody is getting the same information. Because the most dangerous thing in network marketing is this game where it's called, at least here in Austria, it's called the silent post. When one kid is whispering something into the ear of the next kid, and then it goes around, and then at the end, a totally different message is coming out. And this is something very, very dangerous in network marketing. What I have learned in high professional sports is that when we have been dominant over 10 years in ski jumping, I think our secret at this point was that we have one central tool where all the athletes had access to and all the coaches had access to. And this was the core on building the philosophy and the technique and the communication in ski jumping over these 10 years. So what I did when I started in network marketing, I used that same philosophy, creating one center where every partner, every distributor in the organization has access to have the same information as my closest people working with me together. This was one part of building a communication structure. And then when your organization is growing bigger and bigger and bigger, I started to implement different levels of communication. On a level, when distributors are just on this, just shortly before the switch, so that they really become a business owner. What I mean by that is that they are owning a business and not the business is owning them anymore. On this level, I introduced one level of communication where we have a call structure in our communication structure, so that they get a little bit different or more information what they need to make the next step to really become a business owner. And then for me personally, I have this inner circle. These are my closest people. These are those people, that the top leaders of the organization I'm working with personally, and we have contact every week, sometimes even more often a week, to keep this information flow going. So this is just the structure how I was building it up and how it was working very successful for me, or is working very successful. Combining effective communication with all the other points we have mentioned before, this can lead you almost half the way. But to complete the journey, to build a successful team in network marketing, there is one more strategy missing, and this is identifying the talents, which takes me to our last strategy. Strategy number 5 is finding the pearls. So finding the pearls is one key element in building a successful team in network marketing. And by pearls, I mean this is your future leaders. These are those 20% that build huge organizations. In network marketing, like in every business, in everything else in the world, there's a few people who make things happen, and there's a lot of people that follow. And the pearls are those few people that have the mindset, the skills, the abilities, the commitment to build a huge organization. And your job as a leader at one point is to look into your organization and find those pearls, and then help those pearls to unleash their full potential. And there is 2 different strategies. One is that you really look into your organization, in your back office, every back office in network marketing. You have tools where you can see which people are really producing results, which don't. And then you pick those people and you work with those people and help them, to really develop themselves to great leaders so that they can build and lead their organizations on their own. Because this is what you really duplicate, is leaders. The success of your network marketing business is depending on your ability to find and develop leaders. The second strategy is, on your personal sponsored people. I think in the recruitment process already clarity again is so important. When I talk to people and I have business presentation, I am very clear about what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for people who want to buy a starter kit. I'm looking for people that have a vision, that are going with me for the long run. That really want to build with me together a business that help them to make a difference in their lives, but also impacting thousands of others' lives. And the more value you put out there, the more successful you will be. So I'm very clear about that I'm really looking for visionaries, for people that are willing to put the work in, that are willing to take all the setbacks that might pop up on the way. And then I also tell them that for me, there is a 90-day trial period. So 90 days, I will do my best, to support you with everything I can, to help you to get to the first steps in your business. But these are also those 90 days where you need to prove me that you are worth my time. And since I'm using this approach, things changed. Because I'm not trying, to really pull people over the line and do everything what I can to help them to get successful. We are working on eye height, it's a cooperation. We are working together. We know the rules. If I can rely on you, you can rely on me. This is the game. This is how it works. And this just transformed the way how I created freedom for myself and how I could also help people to be successful. Because, as I often say, clarity is power. So, 2 ways you can find leaders in those people you sponsor yourself, or you can find leaders somewhere in your organization. And just imagine, what would happen in your organization when you can get that clarity out and everybody in your organization is having this open and honest conversation with every single distributor starting up in your team. What a culture of excellence you would be able to create. And I think maybe this is also one of the reasons why my organization or my team is growing constantly month by month, because we are raising the bar constantly and striving for excellence. So these were the 5 strategies that helped me to create what I believe is an outstanding team in the network marketing industry. A team that is growing month by month constantly since 10 years. So if you think this was helpful for you, make sure you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, because every week I'm going to support you and share my knowledge with you so that you can succeed in your network marketing venture. Thank you and take care.